Good evening. Here is the news at 6. First, the highlights. Lagos State government warns developers, builders to desist from wetland encroachment. President Tinubu promises support for Zamfara boat accidents. Mourns victims. On the 14th, flood kills 100 people in Myanmar after Typhoon Yagi. And in sport, Arsenal striker Bukayo Saka expresses delight over Ballon d'Or award nomination. And now the details. I am Akan Usen. Lagos State government has warned developers and builders to desist from wetland encroachment as a private estate being developed on a wetland in Bagada was sealed up. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, made this call during an interview after an inspection tour to some enforcement sites and some ongoing project sites. Wahab said wetlands are natural habitations whose value cannot be replaced by money. As such, it is essential to do more to preserve nature and protect the wetlands from further encroachment, as it has recently been experienced in most parts of the state. He emphasized that wetlands across the state, such as places like Iju, Ejigbo, Badagry, Ikorodu, Itokin, and many more, which have been encroached upon for estate development without due consideration for environmental guidelines, will be reclaimed by the government. Special Advisor on Environment Olakunle Rotimi Akodu implored all residents of the state to desist from acts of using refuse to reclaim wetlands or dumping of waste in drainage channels, adding that the joint efforts of the people with the government will curb the incidence of flooding to the barest minimum in the state. Lagos State government has announced the commencement of the e-call-up system for managing truck movement within the Lekki-Ekpe Free Trade Zone from 23rd of September 2024. Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Oshiemi, explained that the application of the e-call-up system will help synchronize the movement of trucks accessing the Lekki Deep Sea Port and other industries within the corridor, starting from Eleko Junction to Lekki Free Trade Zone, highlighting the state and federal government's plan on road network expansion and intermodal transport systems to streamline vehicular traffic and enhance free movement in one of Lagos' most critical economic zones. Oshiemi opined that the e-call-up system will control the corridor. Also speaking on the development, Special Advisor to the Governor on Transportation, Sholagiwa, who is saddled with the enforcement of the e-call-up system, mentioned that an interim arrangement is being put in place to decongest the roads through evacuation of all illegal tankers from the red zone by a joint task force of the state. The federal government has officially launched the distribution of compressed natural gas CNG conversion kits in Ibadan, in a move aimed at alleviating the financial pressures on Nigerians resulting from the recent removal of petrol subsidies. This initiative, known as the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas PCNG initiative, focuses on supporting commercial transporters across the state. Business Development Executive, Presidential Compressed Natural Gas PCNG initiative, Louisa Afu, said the shift is expected not only reduce operational costs for transporters, but also contribute to a cleaner environment by lowering carbon emissions. Afu emphasized that the PCNG initiative is part of a broader strategy of President Bola Tinubu's government to mitigate the impact of subsidy removal on the livelihoods of ordinary Nigerians. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, have arrested an Oyo State-based businesswoman, Aduni Dorcas, and an auto parts dealer, Arinde Ora, over attempts to export consignments of opioids and cocaine to London, United Kingdom, and Congo, Brazzaville. Director of Media and Advocacy, NDLEA Headquarters, Femi Babafemi, who made this known in a statement, said a follow-up operation led to the arrest of the sender of the consignment by officers at the export shed of Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos. Babafemi said a thorough search of a consignment revealed 924 bottles of codeine-based syrup hidden in cartons of foodstuff. Now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu has promised support for the victims of flood disaster and boat mishaps in Zamfara state. The president has directed emergency agencies to comprehensively assess the two incidents to address the root of the calamity. He also directed response agencies to work with the Zamfara state government to help those affected by the disaster. Tinubu expressed the government and the people of Nigeria's commiseration over the twin tragedies in the Zamfara community. The National Association of Telecommunications Subscribers, NATCOMS, has appealed to the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, for an extension of the NIN SIM linkage deadline to September 30. National President of NATCOMS, Deolu Ogunbanjo, said the extension is needed due to the challenges with National Identity Management Commission's portal. Ogunbanjo noted that telecom operators at customer centers often struggled to upload information on the NIMC portal. Nigerian Communications Commission has set a deadline of September 14, 2024 for all mobile users to link their SIMs to their national identification numbers. The Southwest Legislative Reform Implementation Committee, SLRIC, has encouraged state governments in the region to create policies and partnerships that will attract investment and drive economic growth. The group charged the region to work towards creating an environment where businesses can thrive, providing jobs and prosperity for the people. In a communique of the SLRIC, after its meeting held in Osun State, it stated that the future of the Southwest lies on unlocking the vast economic potential of the region. The lawmakers also called for more support for the Southwest Security Network Agency, also known as the Amotekun Corps, to make the region safer. Advised stakeholders not to see the Amotekun Corps as a political tool in the hands of the politicians in the region. And now to foreign news. More than 100 people have died in flooding and mudslides caused by the remnants of Typhoon Yagi in Myanmar. Spokesman for the nation's ruling junta, Zaw Min Tun, said 113 people had been confirmed dead, with a further 64 missing through regional reports, though regional reports suggest that the true death toll might be higher. Meanwhile, over 320,000 people have been forced to evacuate to temporary shelters. Yagi, Asia's most powerful storm this year, has already proved devastating as it swept across Vietnam, Laos, the Chinese island of Hainan, and the Philippines. At least 287 people were thought to have died as a result of the storm before it reached Myanmar. And away from all that, now sports. Arsenal attacker Bukayo Saka has expressed delight to have been nominated for this year's Ballon d'Or award. Speaking with the club's website, Saka said he is happy that his efforts are recognized. He noted that he always wanted to be a player that has an important role in the team, either by scoring goals or making goals. The England international was listed among the top 30 players for the prestigious award. And that's all for the news at 6. Just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961, on YouTube. Subscribe and watch us live on our channel Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration constructed watchtowers with alarm bells and perimeter fences in model colleges? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government's website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has warned developers and builders to desist from Desist from wetland encroachment as a private estate being developed on a wetland in Bagada was sealed up. President Bola Tinubu has promised support for the victims of flood disaster and boat mishap that happened in Zamfara state. We also told you that more than 100 people have died in flooding and landslides and mudslides, caused by the remnant of the typhoon Yagi in Myanmar. And in sports, Arsenal attacker Bukayo Saka has expressed delight to have been nominated for this year's Ballon d'Or award. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Zainab Adebeshin. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good evening.